So did you guys know that Ombre Leather was initially called Ombre Leather 16 and was part of the private blend collection? And a year or so later, it was brought into the signature collection as Ombre Leather. So that was in 2016, obviously, that's when it launched. But now, 8 years later, we have a new flanker to this series called Eau de Ombre Leather that I'm going to talk to you about today. This is the first time I'm going to get a sniff of it because I haven't smelled it yet. So it'll be your first impressions. But find out all about Eau de Ombre Leather from the house of Tom Ford coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about Tom Ford's Eau de Ombre Leather. Are you a fan of the original Ombre Leather? Did you ever sample Ombre Leather 16? What are your thoughts about Ombre Leather 16, Ombre Leather, and then of course Ombre Leather Parfum? This is the third flanker, I should say, in the signature collection, so it's the fourth variation of this fragrance since it did initially launch in 2016 as Ombre Leather 16. So the fragrance is launching very soon, if it hasn't already launched by the time I air this video. It's a 2024 launch. It's considered a leather or woody, spicy fragrance, and it is Eau de Parfum concentration. I initially thought that this was going to be an Eau de Toilette, and given that a lot of the Eau style fragrances from Tom Ford were in Eau de Toilette, and a lot of fragrances have had Eau de Toilette versions or variations. One, for example, is Black Orchid, and then I believe Grey Vetiver also had an Eau de Toilette. But this is actually an Eau de Parfum concentration, so I'm happy about that, and I'm hoping the performance is going to be great. I haven't got my nose on it, but I've heard it's very vanillic next to the leather. And it's 100 ml for $200. This is a 50 ml for $135, and there's also a 10 ml for $45. But the notes breakdown is fresh ginger, coriander, cardamom, vanilla tincture, leather accord, rich amber, honeyed woods, and Ambrofix. So most likely this is also created by Sonia Constant, who did the previous versions. And she seems to do quite a bit of fragrances for Tom Ford. One of my favorites of hers is Ombre Leather, the original. And then, of course, I also really enjoy the Parfum version of Noir Extreme. Are you a fan of those fragrances from Tom Ford? Are you a fan of Sonia Constant's creations? Let me know. Put a comment down below. Do also let me know if you're familiar with Sonia Constant's own brand called LK. I've done a few videos on that house. You can go catch those videos and find out about LK fragrances. But I believe Sonia Constant does also fragrances for other brands. I don't know if she's done any for Ex Nihilo, which uses mostly Givaudan or all Givaudan perfumers, but I think she does. She's done some stuff for other brands as well. But the way I found out about Sonia Constant is through Tom Ford fragrances. So this is the 50 ml of Eau de Ombre Leather. Let's look at it. It's a clear bottle this time, but dark, not frosted like the original bottles. I'm not sure why they did this in clear. The bottle, actually, if it was a larger bottle, this bottle kind of reminds me of some of the bottles of Commodity, but of course this is a 50 ml. The 100 mls are just wider. And of course here we got a leather kind of a label here that says Eau de Ombre Leather. And of course, wait a minute. This is an Eau de Toilette. You know, I took the notes down from Sephora. And of course, on the Sephora website, it says Eau de Parfum. This is an Eau de Toilette, so I guess it's correct. I'm not sure why Sephora has posted Eau de Parfum. Goes to show I should just look at the box, right? Because it says Eau de Toilette right on it. But go figure, I took the notes down from Sephora and I get Eau de Parfum, but maybe Sephora doesn't have the right information. So this is an Eau de Toilette. This is actually less expensive, and I should have realized from the price point at $200 for 100 ml. It definitely is. Wait a minute, though. The price is. The Parfum editions of the signature line are almost around $300, so their prices are all over the place. But this is $200 for 100 ml, and of course $135 for the 50 ml, and 10 ml is $45. So let's go ahead and quickly smell this and see how similar or different it is to the original and the Parfum edition of Ombre Leather. Well, it makes sense now. Eau de Ombre Leather, it's the water of Ombre Leather, so it makes sense that it's going to be a lighter rendition of the original Ombre Leather, and this time they've added vanilla, of course. Baby cat? I'm getting baby cat. What the heck? That's interesting. Is this baby cat? Wow. This freaking reminds me of baby cat. What the heck? Vanagloria, baby cat. Also, Vanilla Barca from the house of Amouage. I can't believe how similar this is on the strip as baby cat. But I'm getting leather, but I'm also getting lots of smoke here. It's quite smoky. This is insane that it's close to baby cat. That's the first thing I got when I smelled this. Wow. It does say it's smoky and there's smoky touches, but where are we getting it? From the leather? Or the kind of accord that they've created with this? It's a leather accord, so they've thrown in a smoky, peppery, incensey kind of a vibe with it. It's vanillic, but just imagine baby cat, because baby cat from YSL has that suede accord, I believe. It features suede accord, and it's got a lot of peppery incense in there. This is what I'm getting from this. What the heck? This is not smelling like ombre leather whatsoever. This is a complete new fragrance. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to spray this because now I need to know how it is on skin, because do I get baby cat from the bottle? So on skin, less baby cat, but the reminder is there. On skin, also the Ambrofix is really spiked. Less leather on skin, more Ambrofix. And also a bit less vanilla. That is interesting how it reminded me of baby cat on the strip. Wow. I'm going to have to spray some more on the strip because my nose is playing tricks, or it reminds me of baby cat. It reminds me of baby cat on strip. On skin less. But it's the idea, sort of. It's quite dry. It's not a syrupy vanilla for sure. It's very smoky, very resin style of smokiness, which is something like incense. And then now that it's on skin, it started out reminding me less of baby cat. It's actually going towards reminding me of baby cat. This is insane. The fragrance doesn't have that heft that the original does, but also it doesn't feel dense, but I feel like whatever notes they've used here will have pretty good legs, because that's the kind of notes that have longer life on skin, but it doesn't wear thick and dense. That's interesting. Wow. So this is a complete different take on ombre leather. It is lighter, and that O is definitely fitting of this, because it's not the denseness is not there, so it's a bit waterier, I should say, because you can kind of, when you wear it, you can kind of see through it and feel through it, and it doesn't have that heft and weight, the density, so it does act more like an O. Very interesting, very interesting. I'm gonna pause this video now, come back in an hour. I can't believe how much this reminds me of baby cat. As the fragrance developed on me for the last hour, the fragrance started reminding me more and more of baby cat on my skin. And it is a great breath of fresh air, I should say. Nothing truly original, but very different than the first two versions of Ombre Leather. It's so different. It's now really close to baby cat and Vanagloria. A DNA that I'm totally obsessed with. Now, you guys can easily get something that smells like baby cat. Again, I'm not saying this is identical. When I spritzed it on the strip, instantly that's what I thought. Then I sprayed it on skin. It was different, but as the fragrance developed, progressed on my skin, it became kind of like baby cat. Earlier, I also said this doesn't have that density. Yes, you really am feeling it you really are feeling it. I am really feeling it. Or you are really feeling, or you will really feel the eau de toilette qualities of this. It doesn't have that thickness. And the O makes sense. But I'm quite surprised that Sephora has listed as an eau de parfum when the bottle clearly says eau de toilette. Why didn't I look at my bottle? I mean, my box, I should say. But yeah, so this actually, it has a thinness about it. There's an airiness about it. But my experience with the whole Baby Cat Vanagloria DNA has been a great lingering power because that leathery touch that's in there already, and the vanillic touch, two notes that do have really great longevity on skin. So that's how this fragrance is wearing, but it does wear thin. Projection wise, I think it's fine. It does have nice projection, and I'm not saying this is beastly, but it wears thin on the skin, closer to the skin, but really with great lingering power. The fragrance on skin felt like it was similar when it was first sprayed as it developed to become more like Baby Cat, but I didn't lose a lot of its thickness or whatever fragrance that was on skin. It slowly started getting thinner as it went on, but not by a lot. So it has great clinging power on skin. So I like that part about it. And I'm already a really big fan of Baby Cat anyway. So a new version of it, do I need it myself? I don't, really. But I love this smell. I love this DNA. And I love that it's reminding me of it. But I don't understand why Tom Ford would go in that direction. These are so different compared to Eau de Ombre Leather. So different. Why do you guys think they went in this direction? Do you think they copied Baby Cat? Do you think it was accidental? Did the Tom Ford execs say we want something similar to that fragrance because YSL doesn't sell it in the States? I don't know what their decision is. I like this fragrance. I don't know if you guys are going to like it. If you're a fan of Baby Cat, will you be buying this fragrance? Will you be at least sampling this fragrance? Do let me know. But as of now, this fragrance is still going strong. It does feel thinner because it's been on there for a while. But, and again, it doesn't smell truly identical to Baby Cat. It's kind of like a, I don't want to say it's a flanker of Baby Cat, but maybe it is, kind of, sort of, because it's different. Most likely they're using different ingredients because Baby Cat was made by Dominic Ropian. Vanagloria was made by Dominic Ropian. He's with IFF. He has access to different ingredients and notes, whereas Sonia Constant, if she did make this fragrance, is with Givaudan, and they have different ingredients. This has that Ambrofix note. It's an ambery note, but molecular, maybe woody ambery at the same time, and the fragrance is considered woody spicy. So it does have the spicy touches, but for sure it's kind of drying down to an amber, because they have the Ambrofix listed. But they also have listed honeyed woods. They've listed rich amber, leather, vanilla tincture, of course. And up top, it's spices with fresh ginger, coriander, and cardamom. So for me, the leather is very thin. It's not the suede leather, whereas with Baby Cat, it's considered a suede leather, I believe. But that fragrance does have the incense. And it also has that peppery note, the black peppery note. So you get a lot of touches with that against the leather. But this one, they're not mentioning incense. They're not mentioning the black pepper note. But it's very smoky. So it's almost like you have incense built in to the leather kind of a thing. I'm very surprised with this fragrance. In such a different direction of what the original Ombre Leather is. It's kind of a breath of fresh air for the fact that it doesn't smell like the original Ombre Leather, but are people going to like this fragrance? I'm uncertain about that. I'm happy with it. I just don't need another Baby Cat variation. I've got two. And by the way, guys, if you didn't know, Vanagloria came before Baby Cat did. I did my review for Vanagloria in 2021. I did my review for Baby Cat in 2022 because that's the years it launched. If you are having a challenging time getting Vanagloria, I do have a link in the info box to Ministry of Scent who sells Vanagloria. It's actually priced less than Baby Cat. Baby Cat doesn't sell in the States, so now it's easier to get a form of it here with Tom Ford's Eau de Ombre Leather. But if you're traveling to Europe, for example, or some airports have this, I've seen it at airports. You can test it out there. I really love the smell, actually. Really do. So I'm happy with Eau de Ombre Leather. I just don't need another one. But what are your thoughts on Eau de Ombre Leather? Do let me know. Here it is one more time. This bottle really does remind me of a commodity bottle. It's a little darker shade, as you can see. But yeah, do let me know what your thoughts are on Eau de Ombre Leather, if you've sampled it, if you're going to sample it, and what do you think about the fact that it reminds me of Baby Cat and Vanagloria? Put a comment down below, and thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Still going. It is lighter, but still reminds me of Baby Cat. Guys, I can't believe how much this starts to remind me of Baby Cat as it progresses on my skin. This is actually a bit weird to me that a Tom Ford fragrance, which usually, to me, my experiences are very original. They don't remind me of other fragrances from other brands. And this time, I'm a bit shocked that a fragrance from Tom Ford is reminding me of another fragrance that I'm very, very familiar with, which is the Baby Cat or Vanagloria from the House of Laboratorio Olfativo. And as I said, as it progresses on skin, it starts reminding me of those two fragrances. It's like I'm in a cloud of Baby Cat or Vanagloria. This has nothing to do with Ombre Leather. It smells nothing like Ombre Leather 16, Ombre Leather, the signature line, and then Ombre Leather in the Parfum collection. This is a brand spanking new fragrance, a vanillic leather fragrance, softer and not necessarily very dense, but very much reminiscent of YSL's Baby Cat or Laboratorio Olfativo's Vanagloria, which are both created by Dominique Ropion. Again, I don't know what the brief for this was. Did Sonia Constant give them something and they liked? Or did Estee Lauder Corporation come to Givaudan and Sonia Constant and say, we want it to smell like this? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. I personally think this will be very popular, since Baby Cat is nowhere to be found in the States, and I go to Neiman's all the time. I know a lot of associates that work there. They constantly ask me where to find Baby Cat. This will be a great replacement for Baby Cat. And again, I said earlier, it's not identical, but as the fragrance even progressed further on me, it started even further reminding me of Baby Cat and Vanagloria. So those of you that are in the market for Baby Cat or Vanagloria, this will be very easy to get now. Readily available at Sephora's, because these are going to be sold at Sephora's. I believe this is getting a Sephora launch before it goes out to other stores and retailers. So again, if you are in the market for Baby Cat or Vanagloria from Laboratorio Olfativo, this will be it for you. If you've sampled Baby Cat for some strange reason, you were able to get a sample, but still on the hunt for a bottle because it's not sold anywhere, I think this will satisfy. It should. Not as dense as Baby Cat or Vanagloria, but it's still going strong. This is like hour 2 now. On the second hour, it's softer, it's less loud, much closer to the skin, but again, for me, the whole Baby Cat Vanagloria DNA has lingering power. And after it kind of dissipates off of you from the first hour, it's closer to the skin, but it kicks along quite a bit. So this is still kicking along, and this is an eau de toilette. So anyway, those are my thoughts, Cat. So hopefully you guys will be able to sample this soon and then come up with your own conclusions. But that is Eau de Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. See you later. Bye.